most of the time when you join an organization, as an analyst I'm talking about, you have to work with data. As a rule-based person, normally you work with documents. And from the document, you will type and you will create data. You understood? So you will have a document which will come in front of you, then you will type and then you are entering. That is why it's called a data entry role. Anything which is rule-based, most of the time is a data entry role. But for a person with analysis, you will start with data, the data which is already in the system. Now, the problem with the data is most of the time the data is not clean. That data will have a problem. So it doesn't come in the way we want it. Every organizations have different forms of data. So you might have tally. You might be starting working in a company in tally. So now you are a bookkeeper. You want to become an analyst. So once you want to start with an analyst, you want to now capture data, digital data. So you will go into the backup system of the tally, or be it Oracle or SAP, whatever system that you are working, because you want the data. Once you start capturing the data, that data is unclean. So I will show you a small abstract for your purposes, how this kind of data looks like. So I've captured a small summary trial balance data. See, it looks like this. I hope that you're able to see the screen. Because this is text-based, I doubt whether I'll be able to show you big. Now, if you look over here, this is the way I got the data from an ERP system. So if you look over there, it has got some date. Those dates are not different formats. And I want to do an analysis on the income statement. That's what I want to do. But if you look over here, there is a dash over here, and there are some lines over there. So what will you do in this kind of circumstance? So for an analyst, you always remember, once you have the basic knowledge of the interface of Excel, and then you have the knowledge of the functions and the formulas, one of the most important functions that you need to learn is how to clean the data. So I call it how to, there is a messy data, it is not clean data which is usable. So how can we create into a usable data, into a raw data? So that's what that we are going to do first. So this is the data. So what I'm going to do now, for the time being, I'm going to close the screen. But remember, this is the link which I'll be sharing to you later. And I'm going to come back to Excel. So I have got now Excel which is open for me. Now what we need to do is, now we have to clean this data. For that purpose, I'm going to do, I have to open this, correct? So I'm going to file now, and I'm going to open this file. And let me go to my desktop. So this is the format of those files. Most of the time will be text format, TXT format, or CSV format. That is how the format which comes from the ERP. So if I go to the, let me go to the desktop, give me some time. So you won't see it over here. So then I will, because all Excel files, I'm going to search all files. Now, if you see, you can see a file called raw extract. I'm going to press it open. Now you will be able to look it over here. It's coming with a text import wizard. So first and foremost, it is trying to capture something from external, which is not its own format. So it's asking what kind of with character. So it started to read that format and is asking what format. So for the time being, I'm going to give it delimited, which means there is some data without characters such as commas and tabs. And then I'm going to press next. Now it's asking the second, this characters over here, do you want to separate it with the semicolon or the comma or space? And I can't see any tab or semicolon or comma space. Rather, I can see a particular line over here. If you look between the date and the sales, I can see a small line over here. So I'm going to select others and I'm going to paste that. And then I'm going to press finish. So what happened now? Now let us see what it happened. So now we have got these two columns. It captured now the date and it has captured Now sales, product A, revenue, it has got so many data over here. Over here, we are going to give some headings. Now let us type these headings now over here. Watch this very carefully here. These are the headings that I'm going to type. For example, now we have got something called sales product A. Normally, what is sales product A? It is a ledger. So let me type it. This is a ledger. Now, revenue is a category. So I'm going to type this is a category. And third, we have got value. So I'm going to type value. So now what we are trying to do is, this is actually a unclean trial balance from the ERP data. Now just see this data when it comes to you, I'm going to clean it up because I am explaining also to you, I am slower, but I'll be able to do with this in 2 minutes. So what I'm going to do is, I want you to watch over here something carefully, how some Excel features are so dynamic, which is going to help you. Now, if you look over the first column, sales product A, and then dash revenue. So I want only the revenue to be captured over here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to type in that very word called revenue over here. I type. Next, again, the second line also, it is called REV, revenue over here, product B revenue. Again, I'm going to type revenue over here. Now we are going to enable a feature in Excel. Remember, I'm not going to use any kind of function or formula here. I'm going to press a shortcut key, Alt, that you're recalling the shortcut. A for data. If you look above, you can see that I went to the data screen, and there is something over here called flash fills, flash fill. So I'm typing FF. See what happened. It automatically, with flash fill, captured all the category. Because in P&L, that's what we want, isn't it? It captured all the category. Now, again, we have got something called 800,000 value over here. So let us try doing that. I'm going to type in the same amount. Remember, it had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros. So I'm typing in that. And then I'm going to press same flash fill function that I can use, Ctrl+E. How is it? Do you feel like magic? If you feel like magic, just type in M. This is just a starter. You're going to see a lot of things now. This is how you're starting the analysis. So now we have captured the values. Now that you already know, correct? So we have got this ledger name. So I want to select these ledgers also for the time being, rather than making any typo errors. I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to paste it in the first ledger, first row, and I'm going to press Ctrl+E. Now I've got all the ledger name, the category, and the value separated. Now remember, this is a best practice again. Now that you have separated, the next thing that what you have to do is select everything from here. So you can press Shift, Control, and then you can press down arrow. It will automatically select everything. Then what we are going to do is Ctrl+C, because we don't want it now to be linked with the older data. And then we are going to press Ctrl+Alt+V. Yeah, let me do is Ctrl+Alt+V. I do not know. Let me try it again. It should work. Ctrl+C. Yeah. Now it has come. We have got a small screen which came. So I'm going to press now. It is asking for, do you want formulas, values, format? We are going to press values because we are just pasting it as it is. Yeah. And we are going to press OK. Now I've got copied. So what happens? This and this doesn't have got any relationship. So I'm going to delete this column now. So the first part is done. Now, you know, when we do a P&L, correct? When we do an P&L income statement, what normally happens is, so we have got some minus sign. We do not want in P&L minus sign. If any minuses are there, for the time being, let me cleanse it off. Okay, fine. Yeah. And then what we are going to do is, in the P&L is always on that year end. So I just want an year end from here. So for that, I'm going to type is equal to, so now it is 31 December 2023. or 31/12/2023. If you go down, if it has got 31 December 2024, we don't want that. So what we are going to do is, rather, we are going to type in is equal to, so we give a heading called year. And we are going to give a formula is equal to year, tab, and then we will select this and press enter. See, it captured just that year now. And if you take your mouse over here, I'm going to double click it. Now I've got everything entered. So now what we are going to do is I'm going to even select everything, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+Alt+V, and then I'm going to give for values, enter. So now we do not want the year anymore. Beautiful. Now, so we have done now flash fill. Now we have used an year function. We are going to use a third one now. Now in the third one, now if you look over here, I've got so many times revenue lines, cost of goods line, marketing line. So I only want once in my P&L. And not only that, later I want to total whatever is there is coming in the revenue. So for that, I'm going to use now, this is the time. So flash fill was a feature that we used. Year was a function. So you need to remember. Now again, what I'm going to use is another function. It is called unique. So I'm going to type in a function called unique, and then I'm going to the category line, and then again shift control everything. I'm going to select all the lines over here, and then I'm going to close the bracket and just see what is the magic happen. I'm going to press enter now. When I press enter, you see what happens. It had revenue multiple times. It only presented revenue once. So you've got somewhere, you've got multiple columns. This is how, when you capture a trial balance, when you capture this multiple columns, this is how you can use this function and bring it all. So now we have got revenue, COGS, salary, marketing, rent, other expenses, and tax. Now we have got some balance sheet items. We do not want a balance sheet because we are trying to extract only the P&L. So for that, what we'll do, for example, now I'm going to again copy paste and Ctrl+V, values, enter. So now these are all as text over there, and now I can delete the balance sheet. Now what we need to do is, if you look at revenue, we have got these multiple columns. So what we are going to do is, now we are going to type in something called, we have got now multiple years over there, 2023, and we have got 2024. So I'm going to type in this 2023, and then I'm going to type in this 2024 over here. So what I'm trying to do is, so I've got this big data over here. So if it is a 2023 data, and if it is coming revenue, I want the total of it. Otherwise, what will happen is I have to go to each column is equal to, then maybe like usual, I go to sum, yeah, like sum, like all of us normally what we'll do, then we can go over here. Yes, we can do this sum, but it'll all take time. We don't know, we do not have a lot of time to, because we are analysts and we have to do work fast. That is the reason, that is the way we are able to keep value. For that, I'm going to use something called a sum if. I'm going to use a function called sum if now. Now, if you look at some not the sum if, rather I will try to use sum ifs. Okay, so what is sum if? Sum if is it will use multiple criterias. Yeah, if it is sum if is actually it will try to use only one criteria. So let me use if sum if, then is asking only for one criteria. But here we have got two criteria. We want if it's a revenue also, if it's a 2023 year also, then it have to capture and total it automatically. So we are going to do it sum ifs. Let's try. And first is asking for what do I want to total. It is asking for something called sum range. And I'm going to select wherever the value is there. I'm going to select everything. Remember, there is something called anchoring. What anchoring means, that you are locking. So now that you're giving a comma. Now the second thing is asking for a criteria range, the next criteria. So I want now the criteria to be the revenue. So for that, where is the range? It is asking for the range. So I'm going to select this column. Again, I'm going to lock it, comma. Let me try to make it smaller for you. I hope that you will be able to see all the formulas. Now it is asking for the criteria itself. So this is the criteria. But this time when I'm locking it, because I want it to be automatic, because if I drag it down, it have to automatically capture it. So I want F to be locked, but the rows to be free. So for that, I will press F4. Now F and both the row is locked. Again, I'm pressing. Now we have F free, but that's not, and the 2 locked. That's not what we want. I press one more time. So if you press F4 again and again, yeah, you can change the anchoring. Now what happens is it is anchored at the column number F, but the row number 2 is free to move. Yeah, comma. Now we'll go for the second criteria. Second criteria we want is now the revenue. Let me go faster now. I'll pick it. And again, I have to give this year 2023, which is on the top. That is a criteria. But this time for us, we want the column to be free to move, but the row have to be locked. So I have to press F4. And again, I'm pressing. Now G will move, G and H will move, but you can see G and H we need to move, but the row number is locked. That's the way we want it. I'm going to close it and then I'll press enter. What had happened? Let me press what happened. So what this was, if you take it up all together, this was the revenue total. You can see 162, 450,000. It totaled automatically. Now, what you can do is, all that we need to do is, we only have to drag it down. It automatically totals everything. Again, drag it to the corner. See, it automatically totaled everything in the data. So we have now the raw data for analysis ready. We have the revenue, we have the cost, we have got the expenses lines, and we have got the tax line. How much minutes do you think that if I was doing fast, I was able to do? So now I'm going to do a very important step. So I'm going to Ctrl+C, and again I'm going to do Ctrl+Alt+V, press value. I copied everything. Now I'm going to delete all these rows. Delete. I have the raw data available. I'm going to put in type particulars. Look at over here. We have got the raw data. From where did we start? I will show you the screen again. Let me put it in this side for you. And let me bring, where did we start over here? Just give me a little time. Let me close this and let me bring this data over here. And let me open this for you. You can see this. This was the data which was there, what we got. And now we have converted this data for analysis purpose.